The 2018 Lexus RXL, which is 4.3 inches longer than the regular RX models, seems to be the logical next step. Lexus offers the V6-powered 2018 RX 350L in front and all-wheel drive variants, and this spring the all-wheel drive RX 450h V6 hybrid will join the lineup. No F-Sport variants will be offered in L form, but after experiencing the RX 350 F-Sport's stiff ride, that's not really a big loss. If the idea of driving an RX with the tiny-looking base 18-inch wheels like the ones on our tester doesn't appeal to you, flashier 20-inch wheels are available. With a third line crushed in the back, the second line has been raised a little to take into consideration all the more third push footroom. It's a decent touch, there's sufficiently still second push headroom, yet nothing can mask how cramped the third line is, notwithstanding for my 3-year-old niece, who naturally moved her legs to the next seat after I balanced the second push situate setup. Collapsing up that second push backrest and moving it forward is sufficiently simple, however there's still not as much space to move to the back seat as, say, in the bigger Infiniti QX60. Irrationally, the genuine estimation of periodic utilized 3-push crossovers like the RXL isn't really in those additional seats, however in the additional cargo space when the third line is collapsed down. Yet, in the event that you truly need regular usefulness for 7 or 8 individuals, purchase a bigger 3-push extravagance crossover or apply Lexus identifications to a Toyota Sienna minivan. Crease the RXL's third push situates down, give it a moment, and you'll really have less space than you would behind the customary RX 350's second push seats when estimated from the floor to the tonneau cover, 18.6 cubic feet in the RX 350 to the RX 350L's 15.3 cubic feet in a similar metric. Those seats may overlay away, however they don't vanish, all things considered. By and large, the greatest measure of cargo space in the consistent RX 350 is 56.3 cubic feet with second push seats collapsed, while Lexus says the maximum in the RX 350L is 58.5 cubic feet with second and third push seats collapsed. What we'd propose on the off chance that you are truly considering this car is to bring whatever you typically carry in the secondary lounge of your car, possibly a stroller and a couple of supermarket canvas packs, and look at the visual space from the back of a normal RX 350 to a RX 350L. The third push seats are completely control worked, and I don't imply that positively. You need to hold down the catch. There's one situated in the cargo territory and another on the passenger side entryway, while the seat backs overlay before the whole seat will move descending to include a smidgen more space. The whole procedure takes around 14 seconds to overlap down or around 17 seconds to get them moved down. Contrast that with a QX60 we happen to have in the carport. While Infiniti's third push seats took around 7 seconds of holding a catch to get them set up and just 1 second to overlay them up, on account of a hook you pull while all the while pushing down the seats so gravity can complete the activity. Simple. That won't not seem like an extravagant affair, but rather I'd preferably overlap down a seat myself in 1 second than remain behind my car for 14. The Lexus is restricted here by its littler size, yet that without flaw estimate was a piece of what at first pulled in my sister and her significant other, who weren't quick to drive a vehicle as large as a QX60 or Buick Enclave. In the engine of the 2018 RX 350L is a 290 HP 263 lb-ft variant of the well-known 3.5-liter V6 driving numerous Toyotas and Lexus vehicles. Those specs are down 5 horsepower and 4 pounds-ft from the normal RX 350 because of the RXL's concealed fumes outlets, yet the two models utilize an 8-speed automatic that shifts easily, yet, like the last RX 350 we drove, is anxious to get to the most astounding rigging, compelling kickdowns to bring down apparatuses once you choose to pass that moderate moving truck on the road. In spite of the fact that the 2018 RXL's speed is totally agreeable for what it is, there's no RXF demonstrate, nor is Lexus arranging one. It can't stay aware of the vast majority of the crossovers in its class, whether you're contrasting it with 2-push passages, for example, the Cadillac XT5 and Lincoln MKX, now called the Nautilus, or to the Acura MDX, Infiniti QX60, and some other 3-push models. Our front-drive 2018 RX 350L analyzer quickened from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.5 seconds, 0.2 seconds speedier than a bigger 2018 Infiniti QX60 AWD, however slower than an all-wheel drive 2017 Acura MDX, 6.2 seconds, an all-wheel drive 2018 Buick Enclave, 7.0 seconds, and two 2017 Cadillac XT5s, 6.4 and 6.5 seconds for FWD and AWD. The genuine story here is exactly how much slower our front-drive 2018 RXL analyzer was contrasted with a heavier all-wheel drive 2016 RX 350F Sport we tried as a major aspect of a three-way examination test in 2016. That model hit 60 of every 6.8 seconds, an entire 0.7 second faster than the 2018 RX 350L we drove. Truly, however, that distinction won't astonishment to anybody in a front-drive RXL riding on the base haggles, our own more effectiveness-focused 235/65 R18 106Y Bridgestone Acopia H.L 422 plus tires. Give the RX an excessive amount of gas from a stop, in case you're entering a parkway on ramp or making a correct transform into a hole in rush hour gridlock, and the Lexus will turn its tires previously you really go ahead. On the track road test editorial manager Chris Walton found that the RX 350L was a couple of tenths of a moment snappier with the footing control off and noticed that the footing control completes a great job finding the majority of the accessible grasp that the front tires can give. The 2018 RXL is best refreshing when you relax. Be that as it may, even on a sport utility as unsporty as this Lexus, we trust future emphasis give better, I have to quicken now, footing and in addition less body move on and off the track. On our Figure 8 course, which measures driving qualities, for example, speeding up, braking, cornering, and the advances between them, the front-drive 2018 RX 350L handed over a period of 28.5 seconds at 0.60 normal G. That thinks about to the 2016 RX 350F Sport AWD's 27.1 seconds at 0.63 normal G and a 2017 Cadillac XT5 FWD's 27.0 seconds at 0.65 normal G. On the off chance that those execution figures would have been similarly as important to you had I supplanted the numbers with hues or pretty pictures, permit testing Chief Kim Reynolds to clarify what this car resembles on the track. This thing is incredibly messy, and with security and footing control off, it continues attempting to turn its inside tire. Floaty. Power, when it works, it's great, not awesome. Braking has an indistinguishable quality with a huge amount of pitch. It teeter-totters in the corners, hard to settle it down. Very few individuals anticipate that a RX will drive as engagingly an Alfa Romeo Stelvio does, however more body control would in any case be valued. Concerning the controlling, its lighter exertion is proper for an extravagance crossover, and its disconnectedness is reliable with the car's emphasis on extravagance, similar to the to some degree common side. The suspension gives an agreeable ride over road flaws, however braking execution from 60 to 0 miles per hour is on the high side at 128 feet. For examination, the QX60 AWD ground to a halt in 122 feet, the MDX AWD ceased in 121 feet, and a XT5 FWD ceased in 128 feet. The 2018 Lexus RX performs well in well-being tests, however it's not great. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety calls the 2018 RX a 2018 top safety pick. The RX passed up a great opportunity for the top safety pick plus rating in light of the fact that the headlights just got an acceptable rating, and it hasn't been assessed in the new passenger side little cover front crash test. In each other trial of inactive and dynamic security, however, the RX did awesome, and it earned a good plus rating in the IIHS Latch Convenience Score. In security testing by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the consistent length 2018 Lexus RX models got a 5-star general score, out of a conceivable 5 stars for all-wheel drive models and 4 stars for the front-drive RX 350 model. Lexus lets us know there was only a sufficient numerical distinction in the rollover scores for FWD and AWD models that the RX 350 FWD wound up with a 4-star general rating. At the crossing point of well-being and esteem is a crisis automatic slowing mechanism that is standard on each RX. The well-being tech is packaged with the path-keeping help framework and versatile journey control, which may demonstrate accommodating on a road trip, yet I thought that it was connected the brakes too forcefully and left excessively following separation in its nearest setting to be valuable in rush hour gridlock the way some fresher frameworks can be. By the by, what's imperative here is that the automatic stopping mechanism is standard. Lexus doesn't influence you to pay for additional for it. The most noteworthy bit of standard gear on an extravagance vehicle like the RX is the Lexus identification and all it means. The RX summons more regard than Murano or Edge drivers will ever get, however the RX's polarizing styling is likewise standard. The crossover's intense side surfacing and larger than usual axle molded grille aren't for everybody. The most straightforward approach to recognize the two models, coincidentally, is to see whether the back windshield has a wiper at the base of the glass. On the off chance that it isn't covered up, you're taking a gander at a RXL. Inside, that extended sheet metal brings about back corner blind sides that are somewhat more terrible than they as of now are in the general length form in spite of the bigger back side windows. When I got some information about that, he said it didn't trouble him since he'd just turned out to be familiar with the general RX 350's back perceivability restrictions, so your inclination on this may rely upon what car you're presently driving. What truly keeps the RXL down is its infotainment framework. The accessible 12.3-inch screen looks awesome, and that strange size enables the driver to part the screen between different data shows without either fondling especially scrunched. In any case, we should proceed with our holdback that the Lexus Remote Touch UI needs a re-examine. In spite of the fact that the mouse-like controller's armrest and handrest feels rich, you at times wind up directing the cursor past where you needed it to go on the screen regardless of whether you've balanced the framework's effectability. The absence of Apple CarPlay or Android Auto truly restrains its usefulness. Those frameworks aren't accessible at any cost, and even the most developed form of Lexus Inform framework, which is offered on the new LS sedan, can't rival those more natural and less diverting cell phone connected arrangements. Nobody guiding a vehicle with a 12.3-inch infotainment screen should need to utilize a vent clasp to hold their phone to encourage in-car undertakings, for example, route, yet that is the lamentable setup my brother by marriage has in their present Gen RX. Fortunately for any individual who has considered purchasing a Lexus in the previous couple of years, there's some promising finish to the present course of action. Regardless of whether it's vague how the Remote Touch framework will advance, Lexus discloses to us the brand is available to CarPlay, yet we have no declarations to set aside a few minutes. We're speculating that is on the grounds that the 2019 RX, a car that may see a mid-cycle revive, could be one of the principal Lexus-marked vehicles to get those cell phone-connected infotainment arrangements. Toyota presented Apple CarPlay on the new 2019 Avalon, and the framework could be on the highlights rundown of a future Lexus. Presenting a superior infotainment framework and by one means or another expanding cargo space behind the second push seats would go far toward our capacity to prescribe the Lexus RX 350L. As of now, the RX has a cover ride-up road blemishes and involves the sweet spot between the as well little NX and the QX60, enclave measure some may feel is too enormous. Besides, about all that you touch and see inside emits a rich impression. That is the reason we have almost certainly that notwithstanding its dynamic cargo space and infotainment impediments, the RXL will persuade thousands regarding purchasers to make the $4,400 hop to the RX 350L on the quality of the crossover's current bundle and those little, intermittent, utilized third push seats.